We stand Pam.
Oh my god, this is a pro Pam household.
100% Pam.
See, but
Oh my god, I'm mad.
I know.
Let me in.
We haven't even started.
Oh my god, we haven't even started and we're already mad. Oh my god. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Mitch.
I'm Ashley.
We're reacting to the Later Daters episode 3, and we're mad.
Okay, it's called Be Interested, Not Interesting. And I already feel like I know that is going to be something that
It's gonna be weaponized.
The coach lady says to Pam, and I'm pre-angry about it.
I'm not gonna say anything until it happens in case that's not what happens.
It is though!
But if it is, I'm gonna have words.
I can't. Okay, whatever. It's fine. We don't have to talk about it now. But it's such a wild thing. If anyone
Pam is like amazing.
That has to be a quote, right? And if anyone says that to anyone else, I'm going to be frustrated. Maybe it's that dude that says it to Pam. That would make more sense to me. The dude she's on the date with.
He's kind of offensive. I actually like rewatching. I was a little bit more like, well, you know, it sucks when I have somebody ask questions. Rewatching it and just talking about it more, like I'm not in that guy's camp at all. Pam's awesome. I think it's like that. Like they're both like she's engaging with his shit, and his questions are shallow. And it seems like he's been coached by that lady because he keeps on bringing up the radio thing. It felt like the Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
it felt just sort of like flat and lame. And
like shoved in where it didn't belong in an otherwise like organic conversation.
I'm not saying I hate this guy, but I was more in his camp on the date than I am now.
I think it's unfortunate that their personalities are so conflicting, and I'm kind of shocked that anyone put them on a date.
It's just
together.
a bad match.
It's a bad match.
Okay, sure. I think we're getting into that now.
Let's just go. Let's just do it.
Oh, I'm mad. It's only 40 minutes.
This might be the most riled up I get about this show, honestly.
Maybe. Hopefully it is.
You know nothing about me.
Oh man, I can't believe we're pivoting so hard back to this.
What do you think I want?
Oh no.
Let's play this
game. I think you want someone that's just gonna sit there and listen to you and not speak. That's what I think that you want.
You need to know that I was in a relationship for almost 12 years.
You need to know?
So obviously you want to get married again. You hope to. You would like to.
I will.
Wow, really?
I will? He's giving Dwight. I mentioned this also off camera. He's like old, mean Dwight. Well, Dwight was always a little mean.
Hey.
And then Danielle turned me on to someone that sounds just like Stevie Wonder.
Whistled at her?
God, she is so 180 degrees opposite of who I am.
Okay, that's true.
Yes. He's
That's
right.
good. That's good.
Yes. She's much more free-spirited than
Yeah.
Not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm hyper, and
You're my cup of tea, Pam. You're my cup of tea.
I wasn't listening, but that's nervousness.
That could also be the nervousness. Yeah, I tend to babble.
You should be able to be you.
Do you know this idea? It's better to be interested than interesting.
Yeah.
That.
No. That irritates me too.
Bad coach advice.
No.
So
that's terrible.
Me throwing down is me just...
So Pam is supposed to literally just suppress herself and all the things that are interesting about herself to please the man that she's on a date with. Why? For what?
Yeah.
To meet a person she's not compatible with
some
anyway?
of the dumbest advice I've ever heard.
She should not have to, like, temper herself in order to find someone she doesn't want to be with anyone.
And this relationship expert went to Harvard, met her husband at Harvard, is just kind of a wealthy asshole. Honestly, I couldn't care less anymore.
Also, I'll tell you what, like, I would not be interested in being her friend or hanging out with her because she seems boring as hell because she's more interested than she is interesting. And Pam is interesting.
Yes.
And Pam would make a cool friend. And Pam would make a cool partner, okay? Yep. For the right person.
Pam's great.
I appreciate Pam's hyper and her weird and her tangents, okay? And I'm sure she'll be able to find somebody else that does too.
We stand Pam.
Oh my god, this is a pro Pam household.
100% Pam. That's the name of our show. This is gonna be the Pam Cup. We're just
I'm upset, dude. I'm so unnaturally upset right now.
That is crap advice.
It's horrible. How dare you tell someone that?
If you want to get a second date, sure.
Sure.
If you
wanna find
care
your-
about who you're with,
Right. If you want to find
no.
your life partner, no.
Yeah, it's crap.
And it'd be one thing if she was rude. It'd be one thing if she was offensive, but like she wasn't, right?
She's hyper. She said it. I'm hyper.
Yeah, and she said she was nervous.
I was nervous. Like, I babble. Like,
Right.
He was respectful, but he doesn't do active things like hiking.
he's disabled. She did say the thing about like your partner could do that with
But
other
then
people.
she okay, this is my problem because then Chloe shouldn't believe it because then
She's using this against him in a different conversation.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard dating when you have physical ailments.
Yeah, because people to your face will say one thing and then behind your back they'll say another.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And he knows that. Which is also why he's looking for the type of person he's looking for.
Yeah, totally. He's looking for a homebody because he doesn't want somebody saying one thing and then being like, well,
and then being
he's
upset
never around.
that he can't hike the volcano.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Anise not up until. I don't like that part. That is the one thing that I'm not a fan of so far.
I think it honestly would have been more okay to me if, like, on the date she'd been like, I understand why, like, you know, that would be hard.
Yeah.
But instead she really, like, she, like, almost was dismissive about his concerns about his disability on the date.
Yeah.
And then confirmed his fears behind his back.
You were talking about how, like, watching it through your lens, like, she was, well, you had some feelings about how she was even on the date in terms of his disability.
Yeah, I felt it was dismissive. To me...
Oh, you can walk, though.
Yeah.
He lives with daily excruciating pain, probably for most people's standards.
Yeah, and I mean, he has a physical disability because of what happened to him, and, like, something that annoys me about talking to people about disability is the fact that, yes, at least it isn't this. At least you can do this. And it's like, sometimes you just don't need that. Like, people want to make it better, and the reality is she can't make his disability better for him, and just listening is, like,
Well,
enough.
tell me about that.
Right.
And he was saying about how it impacts him, and then it's like, you don't need to mollify his feelings. He lives with it every day.
Sure.
Like, that's for
And
you
he's
then. It's your thing to be like, well, you're not that bad though. Or you're not one of them or whatever.
It's also a weird experience when people immediately, like, turn to, like, sympathy, and he's not asking for that from her.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you remember, I was dating this multi-million-dollar mogul. So I initiated then, right?
Perfect.
You don't remember
If
which
you was
one?
dating a multi-million-dollar mogul, did you fumble the bag? Because why are we not living better?
Daughter's basically like, your story is exaggerated.
Her daughter is amazing.
I want to clarify too, I really like Anise. Like, I don't think, I think the way she approached Nate's disability
is normal.
I see.
Typical.
Yes, totally. And I've had that experience before, and it's not, I don't think it comes from
It
a bad
doesn't mean
place.
she's a bad person. In
Right.
fact, she maybe means well.
I think she does.
Yeah, but
it's just like...
It's like, you've had so much of that. Like, at least this, at least that. And it gets real old really
gets
fucking
old.
quick.
Yeah.
At least you don't have cancer. You're like,
And
great,
it's like,
thanks.
I'm not looking for you to, like, pity me right now and then try and, like, mollify me by, like, telling me, you know, about how I experience my life.
You also don't need people saying, oh my gosh, that's so horrible.
No.
Like, what a wretch. What you need is for people to just hear you and let you explain how it is for you.
Exactly.
Let you talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a nurse or a purse, and so I think you have to be slightly guarded in those situations.
Wow, they're getting ready for that Bulldogs game. There's
so many sequins happening.
Yeah.
Look at that. There's an entire bulldog made out of sequins. And then her puff sleeves are sequins.
Yeah, no, I see it. I see it.
It's a lot of well, that's a lot of sequins. There's just sequins
She
everywhere.
likes sequins.
But I have some reservations. That whole Alabama thing really was a turnoff for me.
Wow,
What?
dude.
Are they like massive rivals or something?
I think so.
Well, that's like in Love is Blind Argentina. You had, and they're Boca Juniors and some Riviera. I don't know. Sorry, y'all.
River
I forgot.
Plate.
River Plate.
River Plate?
I don't know.
Is it Plate? Is it plate?
I don't know.
Okay, we gotta cut this whole thing because we sound like idiots.
So how are you feeling about going on this date?
Oh, I feel better.
She's frustrated talking to you because you told her to suppress yourself, lie about who you are.
Gonna go, don't be nervous, you know?
I'm not nervous.
Nothing bad can happen.
I'm a pro at this now.
Yes, you are.
I do think it's good advice to, like, help her try and, like, stifle some of her nervousness, and there would be more anxiety on the first date you've been on in years versus, like, a second, a third, whatever. But
Yeah.
to tell her not to be interesting, come on.
You should be interested and interesting.
Don't
How
tell
about
any of
that?
your stories because they're ghost stories and they're creepy, apparently.
Yeah, it's just balance. Just balance.
Don't talk about
That's
anything
it.
interesting because you should be interested in the man you're dating and he should be the interesting one. You make him be interesting.
Yeah.
Don't be interesting because that might stifle him, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the real
That's what
important
we
thing.
need is men being heard more.
Right.
I'm excited about the date.
Cool beans.
And I know that he is white.
How do we feel about that?
It couldn't be worse than the first one.
That is true. It cannot be worse than her date with George.
He said my bed's never empty. I feel like they left out some of those things.
George was George on
Something.
that date.
We grew up during a time of like actual segregation.
Yeah. It's bad everywhere, but like the South having legal segregation is like a whole different world.
You were in the 8th grade and you fell in love with that little white boy.
Oh, Jesus.
She's like, don't out me like that.
You can have this little fling right now, but you're gonna bring me home black babies. And I remember feeling like that was wrong.
Okay.
I still understand her trepidation about going on a date with someone who's white.
Yes, absolutely.
So.
Well, because you gotta, white people say crazy shit.
Absolutely.
Boy, I think his name was Chris.
It was not.
It wasn't? What was his name?
Michael.
Michael. Thought his name was Chris.
And I'm pretty sure Michael went to prison.
The blonde-headed guy?
He wasn't blonde.
Oh my
What
God.
one did you think I liked?
I'm pretty sure he went to prison. She's like rewriting this little story, and she's like, no, that guy's f***ed up. That's funny.
Her mom was right.
Yeah. Yeah, her mom was right.
She's gonna have to slow down. Instead of telling her story, ask somebody else about theirs.
How
She
about
did ask him
both?
questions, and then he was rude to her every question she asked.
Yeah, he's
Do
like,
we
oh, you're
remember
interested
that?
now. Oh.
Did you know Georgia gets more rain than Seattle?
Since when?
Look it up.
I think it's quantity probably, right? Because it's light mist.
I'm an Army brat.
I'm a Navy brat. So did you enlist in the Army too after?
No, I joined the Navy right out of high school.
She seems so much more, like, muted now.
It's kind of sad,
This
isn't
is, she
it?
feels like she got, if you see the bruise, she had an infusion incident, by the way. It's not me.
It didn't go well.
They're usually Jerry or infusions. You want to show them your, oh my God.
I don't even know how.
Yeah, trigger
you go.
warning if you don't like bruises. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks wild.
It's gnarly, dude. It still hurts.
Oh
So,
my God.
It's been days and it
That's
still hurts.
crazy. Yeah.
No, but there is a bar there called Mad Life Studios. Every Tuesday night they have open mic there, and I sing there quite often.
This feels
Her
like
being
a
with
better
a singer-songwriter dude.
Yeah.
Because she's already with, like, she's been around that scene.
He was one of the best there is in the business.
Yeah?
My son, everybody's into music in my family.
Oh,
so,
well, nice.
You know.
You know what I like about her too? She's not like name dropping with him. Like she's
Yeah.
not telling him like exactly who it is and then like making him feel weird about the fact that like she dated someone who's a very famous musician.
Super famous.
Right.
I mean, we don't know
But
who this
she
guy
is,
is.
like-
There's nothing wrong with that. But,
Right.
like, she dated a pretty big...
Yeah.
name.
And I mean she didn't lie
Yeah.
about it. She's like, yeah, he was huge, you know,
Yeah.
one of the best. But like she didn't I don't know, like that was kinda nice. I don't find her to be very pretentious.
Well,
or
because he
anything.
asked, too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It's this bundle of natural energy, which I love.
He likes her energy,
Yeah.
And it was very surprising to like someone. And I never say that.
see? Aww.
This where we do that thing like The Bachelor. Would you accept my rose?
You're stuck. She's goofy. That was nice.
I feel like she was like muted in the beginning and then towards the end she was doing some of her weird stuff and he seemed to like that.
In the evening, I transform into celebrity media correspondent.
Oh wow, she is busy.
But it's a priority for me right now, especially at my age, because I really want to be in love.
That's a nice motivation, too. I don't want to... She didn't say, I want a partner. I want to be married. She said, I want to be in love.
Yeah.
That's a really, like,
That's sweet.
wholesome goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I close the door and I sit in there for about an hour just to decompress.
Hour?
She's got a busy life, right?
Yeah.
And maybe she just doesn't feel like there's anything to do at home.
Right.
Like,
There's like no reason to walk in
Yeah.
the door quickly.
like you and I, we have so many like hobbies, but we also live like quiet, like hermetic lives. Like you know, she's out around people all the time. She probably has a hard time decompressing and shit.
I feel like Mommy needs somebody who is not intimidated of her.
It would be hard to not be intimidated by her.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is so, like, her career is so robust.
Yeah.
And she's still very much in the thick of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a couple of these people are, like, fully retired.
Yeah,
so they're
57,
moved
she could
on.
be doing that for years.
Yeah.
People do that kind of stuff depending on whether or not they want to. You can do that practically till you
Well,
die.
and it sounds like her, like, the job she does at night. I mean,
Yeah.
I would assume she's going to do that as long as she can.
There's this guy that I really like. His name is Felton. I love his humor and his vibe.
Oh, is she end up getting with Felton?
Is Felton the guy that you saw?
Maybe not. I felt like the beard was a little different. The
I
beard
thought
and
it
the
was
hat.
different,
The hat
too.
has a similar style, but I think that maybe is just a style hat. And the
I
beard
also
is
thought
smaller.
the guy we saw Anise with was younger.
Yeah.
But
I don't
maybe
know.
I don't know. It was
No,
just a
his
clip,
beard was
so I don't
different.
know.
I think it's a similar. I think the two guys have similar style.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
I love that man's hat.
Why would I not want to see
Oh,
you again?
Because
Because why?
not everybody's cup of tea.
Why would you want to be?
Oh, I like him.
Oh.
How do you catch a unique rabbit? Unique up on him. What?
Give me your number. All right.
So she's a little flighty and stuff. So even that, like, instead of like taking the compliment, she tells a joke.
Yeah.
You know, but
Lovely.
Oh,
Um.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
he was like, "Oh, okay."
I really enjoyed it, and that's all I remember about that.
She's really cute. She seems like she's beaming. I feel like she's happy.
I think so too.
She's delightful.
She is. I love her laugh. I love like
Yeah.
how like fully she commits to everything and like does everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really liked him.
I'm so glad because I know you were not feeling the best about the first date, and I'm
That first date, it's like they set her up to fail.
I know.
They set her up with someone who is just not a match for her in a million
It's
years.
very possible they did, but there's also that like just get it out of the system thing.
Oh
like,
yeah, maybe
I hear that
they
about
knew
dating.
she was gonna
like,
be really nervous, so they're like, you
have
know
to be
what? We'll give
tester
you a
day.
bad one.
It's like an interview. You don't want to. If
Yeah.
you haven't interviewed in a while, apply for a job you don't want, and then like just get the interview process out of the way so you're not as nervous. I kind of feel like that's what it is.
I didn't have to make an effort to let him talk.
She didn't have to leave space for him. And the first guy, it was like he wanted that like
Rigidity.
yes.
Yeah.
And that like space to be open just for him. And the second guy she went on the date with, it felt more of like
Yeah.
more reciprocal.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's just energy clicking because there's nothing wrong with that guy wanting to have a more structured conversation.
Sure.
That's not Pam.
No.
And we're rooting for Pam because she's on the show and also we like her. But,
Also, I am not about the rigid, structured lifestyle.
Yeah.
So for me, that first guy would also be a no. I probably would have gotten cranky. Probably when he said to me, like, you haven't asked me any questions, I'd be like, have you considered it's because I don't have anything I want to know about you? And then I would have laughed.
Have you considered you're not interesting enough?
I probably wouldn't actually do that in real life. I would panic.
Yeah. Enjoy paying the bill, slap the table, walk out.
I wish in my like dreams that's what I would do.
If I die and you go on
Yeah.
a date afterwards,
Yeah.
then you have permission. From
Okay.
the ghost of Mitchell to fucking tell him like it is.
I love that.
There you go.
You know, Saturday's tough, right? Georgia's playing, so.
Incorporate that in plans.
Got her mansion.
I know. Her mansion on the river.
Everybody here's rich.
That is the most annoying part about this.
It's a bunch of rich people
Doing rich people things.
laughing to the bank, honestly.
I like some of these people still, though.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just not relatable for me, you know?
Yeah, it is hard
'Cause
for it to be relatable.
This isn't what it's like for 90+% of Americans. You're like, you know, you're not going to these fancy meals. You don't have these like nice houses. You're not going to gala events with like celebrities.
Why do they do this?
Like,
Like
what
I
the
don't
hell?
understand why
Yeah,
we can't
right?
see real people.
Yeah. And it just
Like,
like ends up
maybe
feeling a little out of touch to me.
One or two rich people, okay, but like everybody being
Yeah.
really, really hyper wealthy is
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
And so the way you make it on the show is by being connected to people, you know?
Which, I mean, it does make sense because Michelle Obama's producer, right?
I know. And then she's connected. Like, is it her show or is she just involved?
I don't know. I mean, her name's
know that
not on
that's
it.
like-
It's not like the Tyler Perry situation either.
Yeah.
Or Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider is.
Michelle Obama is in the background. Rob Schneider. God, what a prick.
You're right. Oh, for
Fucking hate
sure.
that guy.
For sure.
He's awful.
What about your daughter?
She's very introverted.
It's funny because her daughter didn't seem more introverted because probably she was comfortable and around her mom.
Around her mom.
Yeah.
And just like a small crew.
Right.
Not a big deal.
When I meet people, it's always like in the friend zone because I'm so cool.
Are you putting yourself in the friend zone? Or are they putting you in the friend zone?
That's a good question.
If she's a professional in her setting, I have the feeling that she's friend zoning herself because she's not letting it get flirty. Because you don't, like, in her job, she shouldn't be flirting with everybody, right? Like, that makes it a little bit messy. But, like, in her personal life, if you like somebody, you gotta flirt a little bit, right?
And the glasses are cool, but they also are sort of a mask.
This lady is ticking me off. No, they just look artistic.
But it does sort of turn you from like an approachable woman into like a character.
Go back.
Why is she trying to make all the women less interesting? Can we just talk about that for a second? Come on.
I like them because they're a statement piece.
They are.
They are a statement piece. They show her personality.
And I think my personality, not my glasses, is don't mess with me.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Yeah, go tell her like it is,
stand
Lori.
up for yourself, Lori.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Her walls are not her glasses.
This rich, privileged asshole telling you how to date.
Telling her not to wear her glasses.
This rich,
Get
privileged
out.
asshole telling other rich people that might not be as big of assholes. I don't know them yet.
I'm mad at her today.
Well, I think we're seeing some of what I would consider qualities that I don't agree with, or like perspectives I don't agree with, because I don't know her personally. But like the first day, I was like, "Oh, she's great. She's better than these other people." And I'm like, "No, dating coaches are probably always kind of assholes." It's like
life coach.
It's like life coaches. Like
Yeah.
maybe there are a couple of decent ones out there, but it's like a weird profession, dude. Like it's a lot of people telling you what to do, acting like things are universal when they're not.
Do you know what though? I actually think there probably are people that are really good at doing it, and they're the ones that don't put that arrogance behind it, because that's like therapy too, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And it's not, the idea, I think, is not that you have all the answers, but then when people are in that kind of a position of power over someone's dating life or their whole life, or, you know, like their therapy, their trauma, whatever, I feel like sometimes for some people that gives them the inkling that, ooh, I have power. That means I'm better than you.
Yes.
That means I know more than you. And it's like, I don't think that's how people should approach it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm sure then there are life coaches that are really good because they approach it like, I'm like helping
You get to where you want to be.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Rather than like telling
and like
you
we're
what
a
to
team
do.
doing
Yeah.
that versus like this, which is like, don't wear those glasses.
Yeah.
But she didn't take it, did she?
She did.
I hope she doesn't switch up her glasses, okay?
Lori's like,
I hope she keeps them on.
You do
because
you,
that
Lori.
isn't the problem.
That isn't the problem.
Would you date me if you were a man?
That is such a weird question to ask your kid, which is what he's thinking. He's like, what?
I would not date my mom.
I wouldn't.
Why?
You're very dominant, but I can understand going through a divorce and having kids.
And her profession too.
Yep.
Like she needs to be in charge. And she is.
You know what? I really want to be soft, though. I haven't found somebody to give me a safe place.
She's taking the feedback.
She is.
I mean, don't ask tough questions unless you expect tough answers.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you need, babe?
He laughs.
He's like, please stop, Mom. That poor kid, man. How old is he? Is he a teenager or is he a young adult? I can't tell.
College, I think.
College. Okay, yeah.
Either late high school or early college.
yeah.
She talked about paying for his college.
Oh, okay, college then.
At this age, over 55 for interracial dating, we don't have to worry about children and all of those type of things.
It would be harder if you're like creating a family together. Like there would be a lot more things that you'd have to think about and make sure I'm on the same page with that person.
Do you have like a little short leather jacket?
I do, but that might be too much.
Too much for what? I don't understand.
Too much for what? I like them like.
I love that like her daughter gives her the snark and then she laughs. It's like they have this like cute little relationship and I really like it. And you can tell like they both love each other so much.
Yeah.
That's a nice shirt you got on right there. You know, drop that zipper down a little bit. Let me see a little bit of the chest.
He always is kind of professional looking, you know, or professional, casual, like Friday at the office. That's his vibe, right?
For sure.
Something that Logan asked me to do is to make sure that I don't go in here and have any prejudgments.
Is Logan the coach?
I think so, yeah.
Logan. Logan's on my shit list this episode. We'll see if
I know.
tech startup CEO.
Where are they finding all these people?
Thank you, thank you.
Come on in. I'm Bill.
Oh, you.
She thought he like owned the place.
I expect him to be English.
I didn't either.
I've never had caviar. It's not that I've been avoiding it, just never had the chance to do it.
I don't think I've ever had caviar. Yeah.
It's very expensive.
Well, I've had roe on like sushi, but like caviar's different.
I'm fine not having it.
Yeah.
Seems expensive.
That's one of those things where like we eat fancy forageables because we can have access to them. Like I would eat that stuff, or like they'll do like salmon eggs and stuff. Like if I caught a salmon, you know what I mean? Like and I had something like fresh and immediate, I would try it, but it's also different than caviar.
I like spicy food.
Well, you're named after a spice.
I am a spice.
You are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that from the beginning.
This is her best date so far, which is really like more a factor of that they put her with Georgian than Nate. And Nate's great. I like him a lot, but their personalities just don't.
Yeah.
It's not good.
How about a blind date? Not only is it a blind date, but it's with a black woman.
So I only date black women.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm leaned in. I want to learn more.
Okay, so he was like, that's normal for me.
Okay, all right. It's complicated. Well, no, I have feelings. So, like for me, when I hear like black people say like I don't want to date white people, I get it. From like white people can be really racist, or just even like low key racist or accidentally racist, and it's like annoying to deal with white people all the time. I get that.
And also like in your safe space.
Yeah.
Like to have to deal with that day in and day out sounds absolutely exhausting, honestly.
Anytime white people say they exclusively date any race, for any reason,
I get a little
uncomfortable, because then it's like, if it's only white people, then like, okay, what's your race problem? If it's only a different race, then it ends up feeling fetishization. And I'm not sure that that's always the case, and I know it can be a lot more complicated than that, but that's my immediate feelings.
I'm curious about how he approaches the rest of the conversation, to be honest, because I feel like that'll say a lot for me.
Yeah.
Versus, you know.
We're making assumptions here.
Yeah.
But, I do like that cliffhanger, though. It's fun because you get to talk about it. This is actually well structured for talking about things.
Yeah, that's
They cut you in the middle of a date at a hot topic. I like that.
They do.
That's good.
Do you know what I like about Anise, too? Is that she's not talking to Logan all the time. Because her daughter's, her daughter's filling in.
Yeah.
And or maybe, I don't really know why they're not showing her as much, because they show Logan talking to Suzanne and Logan talking to Pam all the time, but they don't really show her talking to Anise. And I'm kind of glad, because I feel like her daughter, like, brings up better topics and is able to like broach more things with Anise than Logan ever would be able to.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I feel the same way with Jackie and Nate.
Yeah.
So, and I just like, I don't love Logan's like approach with
several people.
Pam. I don't love her approach with Lori. This episode was just a little rough for me.
Yeah,
with her.
Logan is she's on the shit list right now.
Because, like, let people be. She literally was like, it turns you into a character when she was talking about Lori's.
That's such an offensive thing to say to somebody.
Also, so what?
You're a character?
Yeah.
I love you.
You want to be a character? Be a character.
Yeah, be a character.
Like,
that's
Lori
like, if
has
that's
a
your
big,
personality.
Huge personality.
She's got a huge personality.
And why should she have to stifle it? For what? Logan's comfort?
Yeah.
Why?
Some
Why,
man's
dude?
comfort. So then you start dating, and then after a little while, he's like, "Wow, this isn't who I thought you were."
Yeah.
Because you were hiding who you were. Because who you are is kind of a character.
Right.
Being a character isn't a bad thing.
I think it's one thing to talk about like being able to let down walls, or like in my opinion, I'm not an expert, but in my opinion,
neither is Logan. Fucking hell. Dude.
Well, technically she is.
Well, technically she
has
worked
a lot
at
of experience.
Google in the social behavioral unit.
But what I'm trying to say is that I think my opinion is based on the clips we've been shown is more that Lori has trouble because she interacts with most of these people in a professional environment.
That's what I get.
And because she's kept things so professional, she's then put up those walls as a professional, right?
That's what I
and then
believe.
it's hard to move if you meet someone in that space. It's hard to move into a different space when like that's the way that you handle yourself.
She habitualized her behavior. She just needs to break it.
Yeah, right. And like know when it's appropriate to do so. Because I also think it's very protective to do something.
It's
like
a good
that.
thing that she's not flirting with people that she's working with.
Right.
Like,
it means people probably feel a lot more comfortable with
safe
her.
around her.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
sure.
Which is great for her business and not great for her love life.
Yeah.
I don't think it's her glasses.
Yeah, it's not. It's not that.
That's okay.
I don't agree, Logan.
Right.
All right.
Especially when the guy she's interested in, did you see his hat? Would
Yeah,
Logan be
right.
mad about his hat?
That hat? Those
Logan be
glasses?
pissed about the hat because
Yeah.
he
Oh, you're a
also is a character, and
Yeah.
like that's great.
And like the big beard, like he's got a very
Yeah.
specific vibe. That doesn't
Right.
mean that he should change those
And
things.
sometimes characters want to meet other characters, and that's how you're showing the world. Like I have a big personality.
I'm a character.
I'm like
your
I'm
sweater
artistic.
that you had to take off because it's freaking
too
hot in
My
here.
Miss Frizzle sweater, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And my sweater. We've got our sweater game pretty down today.
You're gonna delete that.
Yeah, I
You
am.
have to.
Well, shut up. You'll never know. You'll never know what was just said. We're gonna head out. Please let us know what you thought about this episode, as well as some of those topics at the end of the episode. That'd
That
be
was
great.
like millennial. You know who said cool beans in this episode?
Did I say cool beans?
No. Somebody on the it might have been Anissa's daughter said cool
You're-
beans. Someone said cool beans,
Okay.
and I was like, oh, millennial, you just did that. You did a millennial.
Did I? Okay. All right. So we're going now because your focus is really not here. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Then I got it knocked, and I started going.
Ridiculous.
Oh, that was a tearjerker.
Hey, we're gonna go on a cruise this summer. You should come with us.